Hi guys, welcome to another episode of SitDown. We're here with Rosanna Styles.
Hi everyone.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am also good. Rosanna is a fashion stylist and consultant, runs her own business, works with multiple stars who she's going to name drop in a second. And she's here with her mantras. What are your mantras, Rosanna?
So my mantras are, you're going to have to forgive me because I don't know them off by heart. They're my energy creates my reality, live more, think less, I am enough, and I am exactly where I'm meant to be.
Perfect. Let's kick off with the first one. My energy creates my reality.
Yeah.
So, where you are right now as a fashion stylist, is that something that is that was surreal to you in the beginning, or did you always know that this is something that you wanted to do?
No, actually. I didn't even know being a fashion stylist was a job until maybe 3 years ago. I was just good at dressing my friends. That's just what I do. We'd go to events, we'd go out, we'd do whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh, Rosanna, you're really good at dressing yourself. Can you dress me?" And then it started like that. Then before Instagram was popping, I'd put photos of outfits onto Instagram. It would get a fairly good reaction, them 20, 30 likes back in the day. That was a lot to me. And then after that, when Instagram started to get bigger and bigger, I'd see more people in the fashion industry, and then that sort of I'm not met but online saw people who were stylists, and I was like, oh, I actually quite like what they do. And then from there I just sort of thought, oh, maybe I could turn this hobby into an actual job and make some peace from it. So yeah.
Crazy. And your mantra, my energy. You're good. All good. Say that. My energy creates my reality. Where did that come from?
To be honest, again, it's quite a recent thing. What I've noticed with myself is whatever energy I'm on, that's the vibe that sort of comes back to me, if that makes sense. So if I'm giving out good energies, positive energies, and I feel like goodness and positivity comes back to me. Whereas when I'm feeling down and not really in the mood, everything just seems to be down and bad and terrible and everything's going wrong. Oh, why is this happening? Why is that happening? So yeah, I always try and stay on a positive vibe. Don't get me wrong, I have my bad days. I'm not at all saying I'm a perfect person, no, never that. But I do try and just be positive and just think of the positives in every situation, just to sort of help build a more positive life for myself.
That's a good way to see it. And I kind of link that to your second mantra, which is live more, think less.
Yeah.
That mantra in itself, is that something that helps you control the energy that you put out, or not control per se, but help you kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Generate energy? I don't know. I don't know. Live more, think less.
To be honest, that mantra, that doesn't really, for me, I don't really resonate with that, with my energies.
Right.
So live more, think less, I think that one came about, it's been about for quite a long time for me, whereas the first one is quite a recent thing. So I actually get really bad anxiety and panic attacks, and live more, think less is when you have anxiety, you're overthinking everything. I think a lot of people can sort of relate to that. And when you're living more, you're living your life instead of living your life for anxiety, you have to think less, because if you start overthinking things, the anxiety comes through. When anxiety comes through, you're I personally stop myself from doing certain things. So that's why, live more, think less is just something that I always sort of say to myself, don't think about it, don't overthink it, because if you overthink it, it's just all just gonna go wrong. So that's where that one comes from.
That's crazy, and that's important as well within your industry, especially are you
I used to be, not so much famous people. To be fair, the way I sort of deal with famous people now is like, I just avoid knowing who is famous. I know that sounds crazy, but literally, like, I don't, like, this might sound rude, but I don't really pay attention to if someone is famous or not. So when I'm working with them or if I meet them, I don't fangirl, because like someone who I'm like in love with, my Jamma, love her. I've met her a few times, but every time I meet her, I'm like fangirling and I feel it and I'm like, well, why are you being like this? Like, stop it, like, just be normal. But she's always been so lovely and kind, and she's just such a lovely person. But yeah, so I just sort of avoid, like, yeah. And because of my job, I've been doing it for like 2 years now. Like, you can't afford to be nervous or anything like that, because they'll feel that energy and it just doesn't, like, yeah, it doesn't really work in that situation, because you've got to be on the ball all the time.
And you've mentioned my Jamma. Like, what other people have you worked with, male and female, within my industry?
I worked with Cadet, who passed away sadly. Yeah, I worked with AM. I'd worked with David Hay. I've worked with not well-known people. I've worked with someone called Dizzle AP, Rayleigh Luton. Females. I work with Sonorel. She's a lovely person. She's like a returning client. I work with her quite a lot. She's great. And who else sort of put me on the spot? Queen Mills, La Vida Loca. Yeah, you put me on the spot. I can't remember.
Those are
plenty of people.
Yeah. And how does it work in the fashion industry, or as a fashion stylist? How does it work? Do you approach them? Is it a word of mouth thing? Is it a networking thing? Like, how is it for somebody who was in your position now 3-4 years ago? What would you say to them in terms of like getting their name out there?
Networking is key. Like, literally just network, talk to anyone and everyone. Like, you got to start planting the seed now for you to see like the fruits in a few years' time, which is what I found for me. So fashion styling, like, I don't do it full time at the moment. I do work part time, but the majority of my connects and my links have come from my part-time job. So yeah, network is the first thing, and just perfect your craft. Like, make sure you're sick at what you do, because that's obviously gonna get you jobs. Yeah, just talk to people. Like, that's how I did it. I didn't know anyone in the fashion industry, like no one. I got into it because of my part-time job. I was talking to customers, and then I found a stylist called Karen Williams, who has her own TV show, had her own TV show. Now she's like an influencer. I got speaking to her. I was asking her tips on what I could and couldn't do, what would be good for me. I then assisted her a couple of times, which helped me get jobs. And yeah.
Worked your way up.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Brilliant. And that touches upon your third mantra. I am exactly where I need to be.
Yeah.
How important is that mantra to you and your line of work, in terms of patience and hard work, and the right opportunities and the right time to make your moves? Like, how important is that mantra to you?
Really important, actually. It's like, it's a grounding sort of mantra for me. Like, where I am exactly where I need to be. So if I start overthinking things, like, I have to bring myself back to the present. And equally, like, when I've started getting like bigger jobs, working with more well-known people or bigger brands and stuff, what I find in myself, and I'm sure other people can relate, is like, I'm constantly like, I'll do something great, and like other people will look at me and be like, oh my god, I wish I was doing what you're doing. But I'm like, no, that's not good enough. What's the next thing? What can I be doing? What's next? And that's not that it's not healthy, but you need to like take that moment and think, yeah, you know what, that's big. Like I wouldn't have even imagined doing that 2 years ago. Like, and congratulate yourself like for a day or two and be like, you know what, like that's sick, well done. Like, and that's where that mantra sort of comes in, like I am exactly where I need to be. And another thing is sometimes I feel like, oh, like maybe I'm not deserving of this job, maybe I'm not good enough. But and then again that mantra comes in and I'm like, no, like you've been working so hard, doing like building the connects, like going to places, like learning everything, like yeah. And that's why I sort of, that mantra is really important to me.
No, that's sick, man, because I think it is really important to enjoy the moments,
yeah.
And it's always the little things that like, kind of like you just have to make sure that just enjoy the journey, innit?
Exactly.
Because your journey's only up, innit? So it's like,
Well, no, it's a roller coaster.
yeah.
It is a roller coaster, and that's why like that mantra is so important, because even when you're down and feeling not good about yourself, that is happening for you. Like people say, oh, this is happening to me, this is happening to me. No, it's happening for you. Like there's a reason why it's happening. Like I used to never believe that thing, you know, when people say everything happens for a reason. Like I used to hate that, but now I'm starting to understand more what it means, and it's true. Like this is happening for you because it's leading to something else, or like this door's closing because another one's about to open. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. Your fourth mantra.
Yeah.
I am enough.
Yeah. See, I feel like that one leads with the last one. Like
Yeah.
they're sort of interlinked a little bit.
Yeah, and interlinked, yes, but I also see it as something that's a little bit deeper. Like that one there is more about self rather than the journey. When did you realize that was a thing, that you were enough? Like it takes time for a lot of people. So when was the time? When did you realize the time that was the thing, that you were enough?
For me, again, like it's a come and go thing for me. Like sometimes I'll definitely 100% believe it with all my heart, and other times I'm like, am I? I don't know. Like yeah. So I don't know. I couldn't really answer that question because it comes and goes. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, definitely, like I'm good, like I got this, I'm good. But other times I'm like, don't know.
And in your line of work, do you have moments, are you, rather than self, we're talking about like your creative input. So how do you consistently keep your mind are you constantly confident that what you put out there is the best you can do, or is there ever moments that you think,
Yeah, all the time. Like, but that's part of growth, I feel like, and I feel like every creative feels like that. Like they are constantly wanting to do better and achieve better, and they know they can do better than what the last thing they just put out. So yeah, like I can look at, so with what I do, which is mostly music videos, I don't know if you know, but sometimes you can shoot something, say I shot something back in July, it's still not out yet, and it might still not be out until next year. And then when it is finally out and I post it on, you know, whatever I post it on social media or on my website, whatever, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, wow, like I'm doing like, I could do so much better now. Like what can I swear?
yeah, of course.
What the fuck was that? It's basically like what I think. But yeah, I think every creative struggles with that a little bit. Even when I talk to other creatives, like they're constantly just wanting to do better every time, and like that's how it is, I guess, because every like everything that you do, all these years of practice, you are going to be keep on like getting better and better. So I guess, yeah, to answer your question, yeah. And no, I don't always think, yeah, I did sick. Unless it comes out within like a month of whatever it is I've done, I'm going, yeah, like, that's, yeah, like, what? Why is no one else hiring me? But, yeah.
And, yeah, man, and, you know, we've spoken about, like, how you got into it, and the why. I've lost my train of thought now. How did I do that? Crazy. This is definitely getting edited out. You don't see this.
It'll be funny though.
It'll be hilarious. I guess what I want to ask you is, in terms of fashion,
This as well, yeah, get all this in.
like, I'm not on it. No, I want to talk about competition now.
Competition?
Yeah.
With people or with myself or?
Both. We slightly touched upon the competition with you, like in terms of you thinking like when it comes out a year later and stuff, you're like that's a year old kind of vibe. But when we're talking about competition within your scene, you know, I don't think people realize how many stylists there are out there. Do you feel that it's competitive for you, or do you feel like you are your own? Well, it's my favorite one. You are your own USP, innit? Like you're your own
Unique selling point.
Like
yeah.
you are, like no one can do what you do. You bring your own everything to this, whatever it is. How is it with competition for you? Do you compare yourself? Do you look at others, or is it more of USP?
I do a bit of both. With work, sometimes I compare, but I compare in the sense of I'm like, oh, they're getting these kind of people, this kind of clientele. Like, when will I reach that point? That's my comparison. It's not oh, when am I gonna style like that? If that makes sense. So that's the only time I compare with other creatives. But otherwise, I definitely feel like I've got my own unique selling point. Like even the vibes and the energy that I bring, like, is different. Like, I feel like I've got my own energy, and I'd like to think people hire me and rehire me because of my energy and what I bring. And if I didn't have that, people wouldn't rehire me. Like, that's the proof in what I say, if that makes sense. I feel like that sounded very cocky, but it's coming from a good place, I promise.
No, man, but you have to believe in yourself, regardless of it, man. Like,
yeah.
Like, if you're the best at what you do in your head, like...
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say I'm the best. There are definitely better stylists, like, who do great jobs.
Nah, man, don't shoot yourself in the foot, man.
No, but there are other stylists that do great jobs, and I love them. I follow them. I comment on their shit. Like, I think it's great, and I love it. And it's good sometimes to see that, because from someone who, like, I learned everything myself. I didn't go uni, college, nothing. Everything I've learned is from Google, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Like, and actually being out there doing it, obviously. So it's nice to follow other stylists just to make sure that, like, I'm along the right path and what I'm doing is right, and talking to them to get advice. And that's why it's never like it's not a comparison of, oh, like, I'm a better stylist. No, never that. It's always love, like, but I do sometimes think, oh, like, I wish I was doing that kind of clientele. I wish I was doing them kind of jobs, because some jobs I'm like, well, like, why am I here? You know what I mean? Like,
nah, I hate you, man. I hate you. And
yeah,
man, as we come to the end of this interview, is there any books you read or any podcasts you listen to that kind of inspire you?
I do actually. I don't really read books. I'm not a reader. I lose concentration really quick. But I listen to Shetty on Purpose. It's a podcast. Have you heard of him?
Never heard of it.
Wow.
Now is the time to talk to me.
Yeah, you should, because if you're doing a show like this, you need to be listening to him. He's he lived as a monk for 3 years when he was 18, and like now he's like a massive sensation, and he does his podcast, YouTube, whatever, just like about helping you be a better person, I guess. And really listening to him has really helped me as well. Like, just be a lot more grounded, and it helps with my anxiety. And yeah, Jay Shay, check him out.
Jay Shay.
I'll show you after.
It'll be right here or here, somewhere. Yeah. Is there a song that you listen to that helps you vibe?
Don't ask this question. There's so many. It depends.
Gotta break it down.
Yeah, but vibe. What vibe? What vibe? Angry vibe. I'm a boss vibe.
We're on the positive thing here.
Okay.
Let's say you wake up in the morning and you need to get the day started.
I've got no idea. I don't know. No, I don't like this question. What's yours?
Oh, she flipped it. Shit.
Maybe off what you say, I can think of one.
I've got 2 songs that I listen to
Yeah.
every day. One is Kanye West Wolves,
Ooh.
and the other one is I'm gonna get smoked with this. They're called the HYPNOTIC Brass Ensemble,
Okay.
and the song's called Purple Afternoon.
And what's that like?
One jazzy thing.
Okay.
Crazy. It's crazy. This, bro, like, if you listen to it, yeah, skip to like 3 minutes 46, yeah.
Wow, how long's the song?
Long, like 6 minutes. But this song here, yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, yeah, this song right here, it's gonna sound crazy, innit? But it sounds like the instruments are talking to each other, right? And it's like a conversation, and it's almost like it repeats itself for like you think I'm mad, innit? Soz. But yeah, no, like they. By the way, I'm talking so that you can think of your song while I'm talking. This is the.
Sorry, let me go down my Spotify
Yeah,
list.
you did that. So like for the first 3 minutes, it's
Jay Shetty on
right
purpose.
there,
Yeah,
there,
I was listening to that on my way here too. Sorry,
crazy.
go on.
Yeah, like the first 3 minutes, it's crazy repetitive, isn't it? It's like the same kind of tune all the way through. But like the way I put to it is like it's gonna sound mad. Am I really gonna open my chest up here?
Yeah. Tell Auntie Ray. Go on.
Go on, Auntie Rosanna. So it's almost like the way I listen to it, yeah, is that the first 3 minutes, 3 minutes and 45 seconds, it's almost like I see it as us as the younger generation knocking at the door, like a consistent knock, almost like the beat is consistent, like the thing's consistent, and then like a French horn pops in, and then the French horn is playing, like, and then like the other instruments are chatting back to it, and I see the French horn as like the older gen saying like, right, like this door is open kind of vibe, and then them are like, nah, like open it kind of vibe. I don't know, it sounds mad, but when you listen to it, and if it works, innit? So I don't know, if you listen to that on the way home today,
I'm gonna get it off you after this. Yeah.
so no,
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it.
it's crazy, man. But it's crazy repetitive for the first 3 minutes, and then just be patient.
Okay.
And just think of them trying to knock on the door, and then when it drops, it'll be like.
Is that when the door opens? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, that's them man saying like you're not coming in,
Oh.
and then it kind of flips where, and then I kind of like translated the next part into like them man basically saying we're gonna do our own thing. Fuck you and your own door. Whatever,
Okay.
we're gonna do our own thing. We're gonna do our own thing. That's why I love that song, because that's why I'm like, man's not gonna even attempt to knock on the door. Like, there's no point. They won't make it. So just create your own thing.
That's a good what am I trying to say? It's a good thing to think. Yeah, I like that.
Shit,
I like
you know
that.
my mindset now.
A lot of people think like that though.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do. Like, especially with everything that's going on today. Like, well, not today, but as in what's going on in the world today. Like, you have to sort of think. You have to not think like that, but that's just it's just how you've got to be. Like, that's what I'm doing. Like, I've built this up from nothing. Like, no one's really helped me out with what I do, really. Like, I've done everything almost on my own. And yeah, and like especially when you're from like a background that's like Asian, African Middle Eastern, like, you just don't get as many opportunities as other people do. So you've got to do that, so that you've got to create your own opportunities for you to be able to. I know what I'm trying to say in my head.
No, I know what you're saying as well. Don't think I'm looking confused. Man knows exactly what you're saying.
Okay. I don't know how to explain it, but
Create your own opportunities so that you can prosper and then you can pass on to
yeah,
the next gen.
that's it.
100. I'm still on you on that song.
Okay, I'm there.
Go
I'm
on.
ready.
What's your song?
To be honest, I don't even know why I had to think about it. The love of my life is Beyonce.
Right.
So any Beyonce song. But if I had to name 5, Grown Women.
I said 5. Crazy. Alright, go on.
No, I'm joking.
No, name the 5. You
Okay.
said 5 now.
Grown Women is the first song like that I would play in the morning.
Mm.
That's just like the best, like, yes, woman. Countdown, Flawless.
How does Countdown go again?
Oh, killing me softly,
Bang.
and I'm still that one.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
You were on
Flawless. Maybe the remix of Nicki Minaj. Maybe. What else? Off her recent album, you know, the one she done with the Lion King.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. Crap. I'm gonna go find it. Just edit this bit out while I'm finding it. Okay, hang on. I'm absolutely useless with technology, which is
Me too.
it's just mad, especially in the day and age we live in.
What's your favourite Beyonce song, bro? Bro,
Oh,
I swear to God.
really?
Me too, fam. I
Really?
swear to- On my life.
No,
On
no.
my life.
It's a good song, but that reminds me of sad times. We're not going to talk about that now. Ego with Kanye West, Formation. Sorry, it's all coming up now. Get Me Bodied. Who remembers that song?
Not me.
Get Me Bad. Whoa, we're going to play that while I find this song.
No.
No, we're not. Okay, no, we're not. Just cut this bit out because I feel like I'm here ages trying to find this. There we go. Finally, Beyonce. Oh, it's because I've not got signal. I think it's called Brown Skinned Girl. Brown Skin. That one. Yes, I love that song.
Yeah.
And Mood Forever with Jay-Z. And the one that she done with Pharrell. All of them songs.
Brady.
I think I named more than 5. Sorry.
Definitely more than 5, but it's all good. Just Beyonce
And Kanye West.
and Kanye West and Hypnotic Boss and something. Cool. So now it's time for your message to the world. I need you to look in this camera here, madam,
Hi.
and tell them your message. You don't have a message, for real?
I don't know what to say.
Well, the way I see it, I'm gonna break it down. So everyone, I think everyone in this world, whatever point they're at, has something to say, has a message to say in it. It might be something simple, it might be something complex, but as in the culmination of their living, they have something that's like a morally grounding thing, a message that consistently, keeps them going, that they attain to on a daily, and you might not even think that it's the message, but it is kind of like. And I feel like somebody like you who dresses people, who consults fashion wise, you do all your talking through clothing, and a lot of people can't see that. They can't see what you're presenting, what you're trying to show, the vibe you're on. But this thing that I'm doing here is the whole point of that. You get it? It's like now you can put that message, whatever it may be, into words rather than through your art. If that makes sense. So
You can ask me now, I'm ready.
what's your message?
My message to the people, and to me in the future actually, is no matter how rough the sea, keep standing. And it's Thank you for having me. This is great.
I've got to do the hand thing.
What's
That I do
that
for
thing?
man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Crazy.
Okay.
This has been Sit Down. We're about to stand up.
Bye. My thing's not put onto me though, so I can't stand up.
Still got to stand up. Oh, this might come New Year's, isn't it? So Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Boom.
So those celebrating.